Thank you, Devin. Have you ever met someone, or are you someone who cries rather easily, or maybe a little emotionally sensitive? Here to talk to us about emotional sensitivity is Nurse Christina Paris. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, it is, what is it? It's a Tuesday after Valentine's Day.
That's right.
It's a very, perhaps, emotional holiday.
Right, it can be for some,
There we go. And then also after President's Day, so maybe a less emotional holiday. But now here we are.
Right.
And so we're talking about it this winter. And I'm sure people have been up and down, much like the weather.
Right. And there are different reasons. Like you said, there is seasonal affective disorder, which I've talked about in the past, not recently, but that's where the weather can affect how we feel and think.
Exactly. I know you're terribly sad that the snow has been melting and going away.
Yeah,
the warmer temps just aren't for you, and I get it. No, but today we're talking about...
It has been beautiful
It has,
out.
hasn't it? But today we're talking about the emotional sensitivity. And that certainly is important as we go about our daily lives. So what is emotional sensitivity for those folks at home?
So just people who are highly sensitive to things. Now, again, you know, like I said, there's the seasonal affective disorder that can cause people to have different emotions. There's also the pseudobulbar affect, which is people who have had brain injuries. So maybe stroke, Parkinson's. And so those people will cry or laugh inappropriately. So they might be at like a funeral and they'll start laughing. So that's more inappropriate laughing. What I'm talking about today is more just being really emotionally sensitive. So somebody who is very connected with their own emotions. And I am one of those people, so that's why, of course, it's a topic that's interested me. You know, that the Bible says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And we know that humility isn't weakness, but rather it's strength under control. But it took me a long time to learn that. For many years, you know, if I would get in some kind of confrontation with somebody, or even just standing up for myself. For example, Starbucks gives me the wrong coffee. I am not one that will make a big deal. I'll take the old coffee. Yeah. My daughter-in-law is like, absolutely not, let's go back. A situation like that, if I were to have to ask for the coffee that I ordered, I would probably start crying. I'm just really emotionally connected to things. If you were to do something super kind for me, I'm going to start crying. So it's just that I'm really heightened awareness of what's going on around me and my own emotions. And I learned a word called empath, and somebody told me about this. So people who are highly sensitive are usually also empaths, if you've never heard that term.
Yes, empathetic.
Yes, and so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So we'll jump into the qualities.
We'll drive right into there. So what are some of the qualities of an emotionally sensitive individual? I know there's perhaps 15 signs as well.
Right. So for people who are just emotionally sensitive, you're going to be, like I said, highly empathetic. So you're going to be aware of what others are going through. So if somebody's lost a dog, you know, you'll be able to empathize, but you'll also actually like feel their emotions. Like you can really intensely feel their sadness. As well, people who have something joyful to, you know, they've just had a baby or something, then you can also feel the happiness as well. Maybe crying was modeled for you as a child. So when you cried as a little kid, you know, did your parents say, stop crying now, you're fine, you're okay? Or were they, you know, come here, let me give you a hug, it's gonna be okay. So depending on how crying was interpreted as, you know, in your family. Sometimes just stress and exhaustion can cause people to be highly sensitive and to cry more easily. Sometimes it's just in your DNA, it's just in your makeup, it's in how your brain is wired, how you perceive things and disseminate information. Sometimes it's just your way of releasing unprocessed emotions. You know, we see that a lot with kids, like towards the end of the day, a toddler will just break down. And that's just because they've taken so much and gone through so much and had to hold it in.
Big days for them.
Right. That's just how their body releases emotion. So it's definitely a biological factor. And then, of course, people who are depressed can also cry easily. Yeah.
Well, there's certainly a lot to be on the lookout for those sort of situations, the emotionally individuals, in your lives. But when should you be seeking medical care if perhaps this is, just being too much for you?
Right, absolutely. So if you think that you are becoming depressed, so you're not just experiencing emotions that are happy, but everything is kind of under the lens of just too much. What people are telling you is too much. You can't take in, and you're getting depressed and down. That's when you want to seek help. Of course, there's the crisis line, which you can dial 988 or go see your doctor. People who are empaths, though, do have trouble sometimes filtering this information, but we tend to look for like little subtle cues. We really pick up on other emotions of others. I actually love the summer up here, at least for a while.
You love to feed the mosquitoes, yes.
I feed not off the mosquitoes. I feed off of the excitement of others that are coming up here. Like I can feel that energy when I go somewhere, and I love it. So, but also being a nurse, it can be hard because when people are going through something hard or having a physical problem, then I feel that really deeply too. So, which probably is what makes me a good nurse.
I was going to say, you're probably in the right profession. I think you do a fine job, and I'm sure they appreciate the caring touch.
But anytime you have questions, certainly see your doctor. There might be something medically going on too. If this is something new for you that you haven't been this way your whole life, or if you just have questions, there's always counseling as well.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for taking the time this morning and walking us through this. It's been, an eye-opening experience.
Yes, right.
Well, thank you. We're going to be right back with a daily dose of what's trending.